What is up, fantasy football family? We are back. We wanted to do a quick, just kind of season opener. We're going to get into a little bit of the schedule stuff. We want to talk about all the mini games that we decided on. We'll touch on the punishment and just kind of some miscellaneous stuff to get into for league info before our next podcast, which is going to be the draft recap,
which is my favorite.
That is always a fun one. Usually goes way too long, but we definitely love that. So I'll let you start. You can kind of get into what we did with the schedule. Like Jacob said earlier this morning, we kind of had to improvise a little bit to add another week to not have buys during the playoffs. So talk to us about the schedule.
Yeah, so schedule, exactly what I said. The way that we picked the names is how we did the divisions and the schedule. I basically had Ryan and I basically did it from scratch. And it kind of took a while to make sure that everyone plays each other, and then who you're supposed to play twice, you play twice. And it's kind of spread out on, when you play somebody twice, you're not playing them back-to-back weeks. So it's kind of harder to do it. And at first I was kind of just doing it willy-nilly, like just guys look good here. But then I kind of did it towards a pattern. So everything that you see on the schedule will just kind of be a pattern on, it's going to be from year to year. So I have this Excel spreadsheet that all I have to do is change the order of the standings, and then that switches the schedule around. So it's just going to be a year over year Excel. But I don't know, it's kind of fun to do this. I was bored at work again, so it really wasn't, it was time consuming, but I was just doing it on work hours, so it was all right. But the first game of the year, of course, is going to be Chewy and Jimmy, which is going to be a big game just because it is going to be a rematch from last year's championship game. So Jimmy's going to be trying to fight Chewy just to at least win this regular season. But you'll see the schedule. I will have it all posted tomorrow. And I don't know if you want to go through some games, Ryan, or you just want to leave it at that.
If you got some games that you think are going to be big hitters or interesting, or what, you have some ideas on some big games you see there?
Yeah, week one, Jeff opens against me. It's not too easy of an opening game. So Jeff's going to struggle here. I know you and Lubasi, which is always kind of a big rivalry, play week 9. So you have a couple weeks to kind of see how your guys' team is, but that's always a fun game. Me and you play week 3. So that will be a kind of a quick, and there's no buy. So I think the buys start week 6, if I'm not mistaken. So they go from week 6 to week 14. So there's a lot more. Usually it was like week 4 to week 11, I think, maybe 12. So they're starting the bye weeks later this year. So week 3, we will have, I guess last year we wouldn't have had any buys either because it was started week 4, but we'll have our full squad. So that'll be a good game.
You think it'll be a good game?
It will be a good game. And then, I don't know if there's any more real rivals. I know Jimmy and Matt, they're good friends. They play week 6.
Everybody just make sure you pay attention to who's talking shit about you and your team in the Facebook chat. Circle those games on the schedule.
Yeah, I think Lou and James are starting to, they kind of had a little back and forth. James and Lou play. They actually played twice, so that'll be interesting. They play week 3 and then also week 11. But yeah, the schedule will be out tomorrow. If you guys have any questions about how I did it, if you guys want to see the Excel that I did it on, I kind of did. Everyone has 7 home games. Everyone has 7 away games. But we really don't have.
I don't think anybody else is bored enough at work to want to see the Excel.
If you do, just let me know. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of confusing once you first look at it. Ryan kind of pointed that out, but it was fun to put together. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, we can tell that you had a really good time.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's super surprising that you're an accountant, actually. So I guess, I think like last year we should do like highlight games of the week. But that's kind of gonna, that'll be a fluid decision as we go to like see whose team's hot, like if it's two bad teams or two really good teams. We'll always try and like pick a fun, game of the week to kind of spotlight always. I thought that was fun. I think we did that a couple times last year. I like that. So I think that'll be good. Not that it like gets anybody any extra points, but it's always fun if, I don't know.
No, yeah, I agree. Like, especially down the stretch when you got two guys fighting for playoff spots and they play each other, just to talk a little bit more about that game and just to have that kind of be a rivalry game. And I might even put it more polls on since we're not doing the mini game of picking who wins, I might do maybe a weekly poll of game of the week and see who thinks who's going to win. Because I started doing polls. I guess we can talk a little bit about that just to kind of keep kind of the conversation rolling. We still have 12 days to the draft, so I just wanted to keep, fantasy fresh on everyone's mind. So the first question I asked was who your first round pick was going to be. Everyone picked CMC except 3 people. I talked to Dom. He picked other, but he was going to pick CMC. Except 3 people picked Derrick Henry, which were Ryan, Jeff, and Jimmy. Which was interesting. I'm not going to ask you why you chose Derrick Henry, because that's probably don't want to bring that out. But it's interesting to see that 3 people picked Derrick Henry. It's just very interesting that someone would not pick CMC.
Yeah, I don't know. There could be some strategy there that just doesn't need to be talked about, because the likelihood that I do get first round picks is pretty slim. So I'm not going to give up any secrets.
Yeah, and then the second one that I did was rookie wide receiver. And I just kind of thought of that this morning, but because I read about Jamar Chase being drop happy this last week, and then Jalen Waddle getting kind of hurt his last game. So I think Jamar Chase was probably the most popular answer maybe a week ago. Like I would have said Jamar Chase the last week. But this rough week that he had, I honestly think it's going to be Devontae Smith. And I think Lubasi's going to reach for him, like I said, just because he reached – I don't know if he actually reached for Justin Jefferson last year, but he was the first person to get a rookie wide receiver last year. I think he just likes rookie wide receivers.
Yeah, the situation I was talking about was there were some allegations that Jamar Chase, beat up his pregnant girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That was the situation that I was referring to. I did hear about the drops in the games, but I was more so talking about the other stuff.
No, I did not know about that. That might be a very big fade on the old draft board. Dude, how pissed would you be if you were the Bengals drafting him?
I don't think anything's been confirmed or anything, but yeah, I heard about that I think yesterday, and I started looking into it a little bit. I saw a couple articles about it. And I don't know if there's any truth to it or what, but definitely something to keep your eye on.
Yeah, I had no idea. I'm actually very glad you said that. But I'm sure I would have saw something. I read fantasy articles daily. I'm surprised I haven't read that, because I read a lot of fantasy articles at work, just because we're at kind of a slow time at work right now.
Yeah, we can tell.
But yeah, that's interesting. But
you just don't have the deep secret sources like I got. That's why I'm so good at fantasy.
Do you know who won that? I think Devontae Smith actually ended up winning
that poll. Yeah, I think he did.
Jeff actually picked Rashad Bateman, which how I picked the 4 that I picked, the top 4 wide receivers in people's rankings. I didn't think anyone would pick Bateman, but Jeff did. Yeah, Devontae Smith got 5, Jamar Chase got 3.
Dude, is Jeff going to try and get cute with the draft?
Oh, yeah. The thing about Jeff, not necessarily Jeff, but I've learned in my fantasy days that you can't really try to be too cute. Even like in like late rounds, you can try to be cute. But like when you get like rounds 6 through 8, or maybe even 5 through 8, maybe one of those picks can get cute. But like I feel like too many people try to be like, oh, this is the deep sleeper, I'm gonna get them round 6, and they just bust.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna be like, why'd I do that? And I'll show them. Yeah, I definitely. I'd be lying if I said I'd never made a pick like that before.
Right. And yeah, I think it's kind of making one of those picks a year, but I think people tend to be like, they see too many sleepers and then they reach for those sleepers because maybe other people have those sleepers, and then if you reach too much in the draft, to me that's getting cute, and it rarely works. I mean, sleepers are so tough to predict anyway. You're just kind of picking the one you like the most. But if you try to pick like 3, that's tough.
I feel like our league especially starts to try and get real cute in those rounds that you said, like 5 to 9 area. Like we start seeing some interesting picks right around there.
Yeah, and that's when I thrive, because I try not to do interesting picks and I just try to do value when I see it. But sometimes that works. I don't know. Sometimes that works. I don't know when Diggs got drafted last year, but I know I wasn't that high on Diggs last year, but he broke out.
Yeah.
And then Josh Allen even. I mean, that's the reason why Chewy won the league, was that duo connection.
Yeah, that was really good. Sometimes they pay off. Sometimes you get that sleeper in the middle that actually does do what you think he's going to do, but it's definitely rare.
Yeah, I don't know if that was really a cute pick either, but that was just the first thing that came in my mind.
Yeah, so now let's run over all of our new mini game categories. Just to remind everybody, our plan for the mini game is we're gonna take this list of categories, we're gonna put numbers to them, put it in a random number generator at the end of each week, and whatever number comes up, that'll be the category, and we'll look back to see who won. So going into the week, nobody will know what the winner is for that week until the end of the week. So there won't be any like ways to cheat the system or anything.
Yeah, so we have 12 right now. I think I want to hear what you guys think to have the third. Well, now we need 14 because there's 14 regular season games. So that'll probably just take $10 off the second place or the winners tab. But right now, so I guess right now we have 12. I guess I could ask you guys on a Facebook poll, not a poll, but like just a comment.
Just
if you guys want to see anything
comment
else
under the podcast post, and we'll just do it on there.
Yeah. So what we have right now, the 12 are just the most defense points. Whoever has the most defense points that week, most kicker points. Then the next one's going to be most bye week players on the roster. So that, of course, has to come to a week that has the bye weeks. Then we got highest point total that ended with a loss. And then we have the lowest point total that ended with a win. And then we have most bench points. And then biggest blowout, so the winner with the biggest differential, point differential. Yeah. And then we have longest rush or reception, whoever has that guy on their team. If nobody does, then the second longest rush, and so on. And then we have worst starting quarterback that ended with a win, best starting quarterback that ended with a loss, and then same thing with tight ends, most tight end points that ended with a loss, and then worst tight end points that ended with a win. So those are the 12 that we have now. I don't know if you guys like those 12. We can always switch them. And we need to add 2 more. We'll get that squared away for sure before the season starts. But I think it'll be fun. Just because, the point of these mini games that we've been trying to kind of experiment with the last couple of years is that no matter if you're 0-7 to start the year and you're out of the playoffs already, you're still playing, you're still involved, you still can win money. So that's kind of the point of this. And I think this is a good way to keep people involved. Now, nobody can really, everything's random until like the last week. Of course, we're going to know what the thing is last week, but hopefully we won't cheat the system. But I think this will be fun. It'll be a nice little fun experiment, I think.
Yeah, I think this one will be good. This way, nobody has to text you every week about who they're picking to win, because that was a disaster. I agree. That's why we try to think of these different mini games to keep everybody involved and active as much as possible. And that's also why we are going to implement the punishment now. Because that way, if you are the worst team, the least you can do is not finish last. Like if you're the worst team in the middle of the season, like you're fighting to just not finish last now.
Right.
And I think that is going to add also a more fun dynamic to the league and to keep everybody involved all year. Because this time, if you let shit slip, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs too, because like I think last year I didn't stop playing. I still set my lineup, but I didn't really care to watch the games. I was kind of more doing daily fantasy. But now it's like, okay, now my games actually matter, and let's win at least one game, so I'm not doing the punishment. And talking about the punishment, we're not going to set the punishment yet, like concrete, because we don't know who's going to be in the league, who's not going to be in the league. Until I have a full 12 that I have money in my hand with, then I'm not going to make the punishment official. But unofficially, the punishment's going to be waxing the pits and then recording it and then putting on just our Facebook group. You don't have to put it on any other social media, but just so we can see and laugh and have a good time. But until we get a full 12 and until I get not $1,200, whatever, I think $1,500 total in my hand, then I'm not going to concrete the punishment quite yet. We're not going to.
Yeah, but tentatively, that is what it is. What that or the chip said it was one or the other.
Yeah. Well, I talked to the people that wanted to do the chip, and they said we could just do the armpit.
So everybody's in.
Yeah, so everyone's in for the pits, but the new guy that might join one guy hasn't responded at all to me, and then one guy might join. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that right now.
And I think
we still got a couple.
That guy takes me as a guy that would be down for some pit stuff. So I'm not worried about our punishment. I think it's going to stand, and I cannot wait. If this is my first year ever getting dead last in the league, I'm going to be pretty upset.
I'm going to be too, but I think to your point, I don't think, dude, that guy is the guy we're talking about is a pretty hairy guy. I don't know if he's going to want to do pit stuff. We'll see. I guess I'm nervous about that just because of that, but I mean, yes, I hope
it doesn't matter who you are. That's gonna suck no matter what.
Dude, I can't wait because I found an article on what to do before you get waxed, and I was gonna send that out to the group just to tell you guys what to do. Because but see, the thing is with this punishment, like people do this every day. Like maybe not the armpits per se, but like people get waxed every day. So it's not like it's a grueling punishment. Yeah, it's going to fucking hurt. And it's going to suck for, an hour or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hilarious.
It's going to be hilarious. And everybody in the league is going to laugh really hard and probably watch the video 1,000 times. And I can't wait. Like I said, if I finish dead last this year, I'm just going to be so upset.
Yeah, I really want either you, Lubasi, to finish last, because I'd be there front row. I'd be the one videotaping it.
That would make it so much worse. Obviously you can tell we're very excited. I'm super excited. We got a lot of new things we're trying out this year. Obviously, the podcast is still standing strong. I hope you guys are still enjoying this. And as always, please offer any constructive criticism, ideas, Chris brought up the guest idea again today on the Facebook group. So I think that's something that we should talk about for moving forward. I think we having some guests pop up here and there throughout the season. I think that could be fun. So we'll try and think of some ideas to do that. But yeah, like I said, please offer up any other ideas you guys got if you think of anything. And definitely for the mini game, throw out some suggestions. If they're really good, then we can start replacing some of the ones that we thought of until we have a good solid 14. So I think that's kind of all the details for the beginning of the season. I don't know if you had anything left to add there.
Nope. Yeah. Mini game will be $10 per week. And you'll just get paid when the payouts. So you're not going to get paid every week. It's just going to be till the end of the year.
We'll tally it up.
Yep.
All right. Well, cool. The next time you guys see us, it's going to be for our favorite podcast of the year, the draft recap. I'm super excited. I hope everybody is digging into their research or at least has a plan. Because I think everybody's in it to win it this year. And this might be the best fantasy we've ever seen. I don't know. I'm just saying that. I just said that out of my ass.
One thing I want to mention, the draft is going to be Tuesday night, and the season starts Thursday. So we're going to try to do the podcast Wednesday and have it up before the game. But yeah, that podcast is going to be pretty long. Usually it might hit an hour, but
maybe not an hour, but we do like to go over everybody's team. We know that's incredibly long, and I'm sure everybody probably skips most of it just to get to their team, but you know, it's part of the game. It's fun for us. So yeah, super excited. Can't wait for the draft, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Bye.